By the time I hit my 30s and into my 40s, I realized my life did not look at all the way I dreamed of as a little girl. And if your life doesn't look like the dream life you imagined as a young girl, then I guarantee you're probably doing these 3 things wrong. Hello friends and welcome back. And if it's your first time here, my name is Lindy. I help women see their potential, change their mindset, and grow fulfilling lives. If that's something you're ready to do, then hit subscribe, hit the like button, and stick around. By the time you're done watching this video, you will clearly understand the 3 common pitfalls that keep us from manifesting the dream life we always wanted. Those 3 common pitfalls are denial, blame, and jealousy. Now hold on, you might not think these things are relevant to you, but if you stick around, you're probably going to see how they are. I know they were what was ruining my life, but it took me a while to realize how and why, and what I had to do to change it. First, we're going to start with denial. Imagine you are craving homemade tomato sauce. So you plant a garden and you plant some seeds, but they're eggplant seeds, and you keep growing eggplants. Your friends come up to you and they try to tell you that you're planting something that isn't good. You're planting something that isn't going to give you tomatoes, but you don't want to listen to them. Basically, you're like, hey, these seeds will work, mind your business, I know what I'm doing, and you keep planting the eggplant seeds. You're in denial. How does that relate to your life? Well, if you're anything like me, your life didn't turn out the way you thought it would, or the way you dreamed it would, but you didn't think it was because of you. You didn't think you were doing anything wrong. That's called denial. And I was in denial. The problem was how I was believing about myself, the way I was thinking, and the way I was talking was creating the life I had. But if anybody tried to tell me that, I didn't want to hear it. As far as I was concerned, I was right and everybody else was wrong and they needed to change and not me. That's denial. In a nutshell, if I wanted to see a different life, a dream life, have my dream sauce, then I needed to plant a different seed. I needed to stop planting eggplant seeds and I needed to start planting tomato seeds. That's the only way my life was going to change. I could have cried and prayed and had all the faith in the world, but nothing would change as long as I kept planting eggplant seeds. As long as I kept planting a poor self-image and for other people to change. It wasn't going to happen. Number 2, blame. You know, all my neighbors had beautiful gardens. In other words, my friends, family members, employers, they had the life I wanted. And I would look at their garden, I would look at their life, and I envied their beautiful tomatoes. And I was like, you know what? They have so much. They have so many connections and so many friends, and everybody loves them. Look at all their tomatoes. Look at their saucy life. That's why I don't have anything, because they have all the tomatoes. That was how I blamed people. My boss has more money than me because he doesn't give me a raise. I'm blaming my boss. Oh, my family, they're not making connections for me and helping me get a raise or a promotion or into some business that they're at. I'm blaming my family. Basically, it's everybody's fault and not mine. Again, their garden was growing the way it was because of what they were planning, what they were believing about themselves, how they were treating other people, how they were thinking and talking. And if I wanted what they had, I was going to have to do what they were doing. And if I wanted more than they had, then I was going to have to do more than what they were doing. So number 2 in a nutshell, stop looking at everyone around you to make your changes happen and take a look in the mirror. Because they're not to blame, you are. And number 3 was jealousy. Yeah, I was pretty angry at everybody else's garden. You know, their life looked great and mine didn't, and that made me really angry. I didn't realize that anger was actually jealousy. But here's the really important part about jealousy. When we're jealous, we are operating from a root of insecurity. Stay with me. Would you be jealous, for example, of a beautiful woman? If you thought it was possible for you to look like her, would you be jealous of an extremely wealthy person if you thought it was possible for you to acquire the same wealth as them? Would you be jealous of somebody who's always has friends and everybody wants to be around them if you honestly believed that you were lovable and friend worthy? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't care. In fact, you'd probably be happy for those people. If you knew and truly believed that you were able to create a physical body or material, clothing, or whatever, just that silly outward appearance of things that we all enjoy, would you really care if somebody else was beautiful? Absolutely not. And if you really honestly believe that if you went after something and bypassed the fear and put all your focus and energy and learning into doing something amazing, do you really believe that you could become rich? If you did, you would not care or get upset or be jealous of or badmouth somebody else who's walking around with a lot of money. And if you really loved yourself, and if you were really kind to other people, would you really care if somebody else seemed to attract all the attention and friendships that you wish you had? Absolutely not. Because you would know that you're wonderful and that if somebody was smart enough, they'd want to be around you. Listen, if everybody on your block has a beautiful, lush, ripe garden of tomatoes and you don't, their garden has nothing to do with your garden. Their prosperous, successful, beautiful life has nothing to do with your life. In fact, if you will plant tomato seeds in your garden, you too can have and will have a beautiful, flourishing garden full of plump, ripe, juicy tomatoes. There are enough tomatoes for everyone. It is up to you to plant the seed. There is enough in this earth for everyone to live their dream life. But it is up to us, it is up to you to put out there what must go out to attract and to grow that dream life. So remember, number one, if your life does not look the way you imagined it would when you were a little girl, stop denying that the problem is you. Take accountability, take back your power, because if you don't realize and admit that you are the only one who can change your situation, then you do not have the power in your hands to make it happen. Number two, you're not going to blame anyone else anymore from how your life has turned out up till now. Moving forward, you will take full accountability. You will start self-reflecting, figure out what's going on inside you. What kind of weaknesses or insecurities are you believing about yourself? How have you been thinking? And how do you talk about yourself? I guarantee you that what you're seeing right now, if it isn't good, you're thinking and talking some really negative stuff, and it's got to stop. So find some positive, uplifting material, fill your heart, fill your head, fill your mind, fill your mouth with positive, good words and thoughts, and things will start to change. And number three, jealousy. No more. From now on, when you see a successful person that has what you want, instead of letting it make you angry, when that jealousy starts brewing, recognize it and realize that that person probably has something that you need. In fact, the people that make you the most angry and that you feel the most jealous of, they are the people you need to be around. And instead of getting upset, start thinking well of them and asking them, how did you do this? How did you get here? How do you think in the morning? What's your routine? And learn from them and watch everything turn around. Because the dreams that you had as a young person, the dreams I had as a young person, they're supposed to happen. Yes, they're coming with challenges. Everything around you is going to try to rob you. But if you will persevere and you will believe and you will change your mindset, you still can and will manifest the dreams you've always wanted. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. And remember to subscribe and hit the like button. And I'll see you again next week as we keep seeing, changing, and growing together.